In the midst of the hustle and bustle of daily life, the endless list of tasks and commitments, where every tick of the clock seems a reminder of the things we still need to do, a question arises that we rarely stop to consider. Where is the joy in all this? Often it feels like we are in a constant search for big moments, those grand victories we believe will bring us full happiness. But what if I told you that the real key to a happier life isn't found in these grand achievements, but rather in the small things that often go unnoticed? Imagine for a moment the simple pleasure of feeling the sun on your face on a chilly morning, the aroma of fresh coffee filling the kitchen, or a spontaneous laugh with a friend. These small moments have an incredible power to transform our day, to pull us out of that feeling of always chasing something. It's like rediscovering the magic in our everyday, that sense of wonder we had when we were children and everything around us seemed new and exciting. Science, in fact, has a lot to say about this. Research shows that people who make a practice of noticing and appreciating the small things in life actually report higher levels of happiness and satisfaction. It's not just poetry, it's psychology. By allowing ourselves to be present and find joy in the small things, we are actually training our brain to recognize and savor positive moments, however brief they may be. Now you might be wondering, how do I start to notice these small things? It begins with the decision to slow down. In a world that values speed and efficiency, consciously choosing to slow down may seem counterintuitive. But it's precisely this slowing down that opens up space for appreciation. It's as if, by slowing down, we suddenly notice the brighter colors around us, the clearer sounds, the textures, the aromas. We are, in fact, allowing our senses to reconnect with what is genuinely enriching in life. This path to a happier life doesn't require grand changes or Herculean efforts. It requires just a small adjustment in our perception, a commitment to be more present. And by doing so, we begin to build a life where joy is not a rare visitor, but a constant companion. That is the beauty of finding joy in the small things. It is always within our reach, waiting just for us to take a moment to notice and appreciate. So how about we start this journey together, rediscovering the joy in the simple wonders of our day-to-day. Now, delving a bit deeper, let's explore the fascinating world of the science behind happiness. Have you ever stopped to consider that our pursuit of happiness is not just an emotional desire, but also a deeply rooted issue in our biology? Recent studies in the field of positive psychology reveal that happiness is not just a fleeting sensation, but a state we can cultivate through specific practices and habits. And here's the secret: the joy found in the small things in life has a significant impact on this equation. Researchers have discovered that moments of everyday pleasure, like appreciating a beautiful landscape, savoring a delicious meal, or sharing a good laugh, contribute to what they call subjective well-being, a scientific term to describe our overall satisfaction with life. These moments of joy not only lift our mood in the short term, but also have a cumulative effect, strengthening our emotional resilience and helping us to cope better with challenges. Moreover, science suggests that the practice of gratitude and the act of valuing the small things can literally alter our brain chemistry. By focusing on positive experiences and expressing gratitude for them, we activate areas of the brain associated with pleasure and reward, such as the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system, releasing neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which are known for their mood-lifting effects. But it doesn't stop there. The fascinating part is that this practice of finding joy in the small things and cultivating gratitude can, in fact, create a kind of virtuous cycle. The more frequently we engage in these practices, the more our brain adapts to this state of well-being, making us more likely to notice and appreciate the beauty and goodness around us. It's as if we reprogram our neural system to be more receptive to happiness. This knowledge is a true revolution in the way we understand happiness. It's not just in the grand achievements or moments of thunderous success, but also, and perhaps mainly, in those small daily perceptions that, together, weave the tapestry of our lives. The science of happiness shows us that, By valuing and paying attention to the small things, we're not just increasing our immediate pleasure, we're building a solid foundation for a genuinely happy and satisfying life. And the beauty of it is that it's within everyone's reach, at any moment, anywhere. All it takes is for us to start paying attention. Continuing our exploration of how to enrich our lives with genuine happiness, we arrive at a fundamental principle that may seem counterintuitive in our fast-paced society: the art of slowing down. In a world where everything is urgent, where speed is often synonymous with efficiency, suggesting a pause might seem odd. But believe it or not, it's precisely in this act of slowing down that we can discover a deep source of joy and contentment. Slowing down is not just a practice, it's a personal revolution against the relentless rush that often dominates our lives. It's consciously choosing not to rush from one task to another, but to allow ourselves to be fully engaged in what we're doing, whether reading a book, preparing a meal, or simply sitting to watch the sunset. By slowing down, we not only increase our capacity for appreciation, but also our ability to recognize the beauty and joy in the small things that we might otherwise overlook. But how exactly can we incorporate this art into our daily routine? It starts with intention. For example, when eating, instead of doing so quickly or while distracted with something else, try to focus completely on the experience. Savor each bite. Pay attention to the flavors, textures, and aromas. This approach can be applied to virtually any activity, transforming it from a task to be completed quickly into an experience to be fully lived. Moreover, slowing down gives us the opportunity to breathe, reflect, and reconnect with ourselves. This might mean dedicating a few minutes of the day to meditate, practice yoga, or simply sit in silence. These moments of pause are essential for our mental and emotional well-being, as they allow us to process our thoughts and emotions, reducing stress and increasing our mental clarity. Slowing down also improves our relationships. When we are less rushed, we are more capable of being present with others, listening attentively, and engaging in meaningful conversations. This not only enriches our interactions, but also strengthens our bonds with friends and family. Therefore, the art of slowing down is more than just a technique for increasing happiness. It's a lifestyle that encourages us to live more intentionally and consciously. By adopting this principle, we discover that true joy is not in doing more, but in appreciating more deeply what we already have. And thus, step by step, we find our way to a richer and more satisfying life, one where every moment is cherished and every little thing has the potential to bring joy. As we adopt the practice of slowing down and being present, a natural opportunity emerges, finding joy in everyday activities. It may seem surprising at first, but it's in the daily routines and the most mundane tasks that an abundant source of happiness awaits to be discovered. Transforming the ordinary into extraordinary doesn't require grand feats. It requires just a change in perspective. Take, for example, the activity of preparing a meal. Instead of viewing it as just another task to be quickly completed, we can see it as an opportunity to connect with the ingredients, appreciate the colors and aromas, and even experience gratitude for having food to prepare. This approach transforms the process of cooking into a rich and satisfying experience, full of small pleasures. Similarly, cleaning the house, often seen as a tedious obligation, can become an exercise in mindfulness and a chance to create a harmonious and welcoming space. Focusing on the physical sensations of the work, like the movement of the hands and the sound of water, can transform cleaning from an activity we want to avoid into one that brings peace and satisfaction. Even the commute to work can be filled with opportunities to find joy. Observing the sky changing color at dawn, feeling the cool breeze on your face, or even appreciating the complexity of urban life around us are ways to find beauty and joy in the daily commute. The key to finding joy in everyday activities is intention. When we approach our daily tasks with the intention of finding pleasure in them, we change our experience of these activities. This doesn't mean that every moment will be joyful, But by cultivating this attitude, we increase the likelihood of experiencing moments of joy more frequently. Moreover, this practice has the potential to transform our relationship with work and obligations. By seeking and finding joy in small tasks, we can feel a greater sense of purpose and satisfaction in our daily life. This shift in perspective not only enriches our experience of the present moment, but also contributes to a sense of well-being in the long term. The invitation is simple. Begin to look at everyday activities not as mere items on a to-do list, but as opportunities to discover joy and fulfillment. By doing so, we not only transform our daily routine, but also the quality of our life as a whole. Finding joy in everyday activities is a powerful way to cultivate happiness, one small action at a time. Continuing our journey toward a life full of happiness and contentment, let's now dive into the world of creativity and hobbies. Engaging in creative activities and cultivating hobbies is not just a way to pass the time. It's a powerful road to discovering joy and satisfaction at the deeper layers of our existence. When we dedicate ourselves to a hobby or a creative practice, we're not just creating something external to us. We're also exploring and enriching our inner world. Imagine, for a moment, the act of painting a canvas. With each brushstroke, it's not just color that's transferred to the canvas, but also a piece of our essence, our thoughts and emotions. The same can be said about playing an instrument, writing poetry, gardening, or any other form of creative expression. These activities allow us to communicate what's inside of us in a way that words often can't. And there's a particular beauty in that, a kind of joy that springs from the act of creating and expressing. Moreover, hobbies and creative activities have the power to pull us out of autopilot, challenging us to learn and grow. Each new project is an adventure, an opportunity to explore new territories, whether that's improving a technique, experimenting with new materials, or simply playing with new ideas. This process of discovery and learning is, in itself, a source of great joy and satisfaction. More than that, dedicating time to hobbies and creative activities can be tremendously therapeutic. In moments of stress or anxiety, diving into a creative project can be a refuge, a space where the day-to-day worries are temporarily set aside. In this space, we can find calm, focus, and yes, joy. It's a moment to be with ourselves, to reconnect with what makes us feel alive. And you don't need to be a professional artist or an expert to enjoy the benefits of creativity. The real value lies in the process, not the final product. It's about allowing yourself to experiment, to make mistakes, to learn, and above all, to enjoy. Each of us has a creative vein. We just need to give ourselves permission to explore it. So, if you don't already have a hobby or are looking for new ways of creative expression, I encourage you to take that step. It could be something as simple as starting a journal, learning to play an instrument, or even approaching cooking as a form of art. What matters is finding something that resonates with you, something that brings joy and satisfaction to your life. By doing so, you're not just enriching your days, but also opening a channel for deeper, more lasting happiness. In our quest for a happier and more meaningful life, we encounter a powerful and transformative concept, the detachment from possessions and status. In a society where so much value is placed on what we own and our social position, the idea of detachment may seem contrary to what we're constantly taught. But herein lies a liberating truth. True happiness and contentment come from within, not from material things or external recognition we may accumulate. Detachment doesn't mean we should abandon all our possessions or aspirations. Instead, it's about changing our relationship with them. It's recognizing that while material goods and status can bring temporary comfort and pleasure, they are not the ultimate source of our happiness. When our self-esteem and satisfaction depend on these external factors, we become vulnerable to the fluctuations of fortune and others' opinions, leading to an endless cycle of seeking more without ever feeling truly satisfied. By practicing detachment, we learn to value more the experiences, relationships, and personal growth. We find joy in genuine connections with others, in the beauty of a shared moment, in gratitude for the life experiences that shape who we are. This doesn't mean we shouldn't have goals or desires, but rather that we can seek fulfillment that isn't solely tied to material goods or status. Detachment also teaches us about the impermanence of all things. By accepting that everything in life is transient, we can live more fully in the present, appreciating what we have here and now, without fear of loss or change. This acceptance frees us to experience life more deeply, finding satisfaction in simple things and the journey itself, rather than just the destinations or possessions we seek to attain. Adopting a stance of detachment allows us to approach life with more lightness and flexibility. We learn to flow with changes, adapting resiliently to life's various circumstances. This not only reduces stress and anxiety, but also opens up space for more joy and inner peace. Detachment from possessions and status is a journey towards freedom. Freedom from fears, expectations, and the constant search for external approval. As we embark on this journey, we're not giving up the desire for improvement or material comfort, but we're redefining what we truly value. We're choosing a life where true wealth comes from the quality of our experiences and relationships, not the quantity of our possessions. And it's in this choice that we find a more fulfilling and happier path. In our journey to find true joy in the small things and build a happier life, one principle shines with a special light: the joy of giving. This concept goes beyond the simple exchange of gifts or acts of material generosity. The joy of giving reflects a deep human connection, a sharing of oneself with others, which enriches us in unimaginable ways. Giving is not limited to material possessions. It encompasses time, attention, knowledge, and compassion. When we dedicate our time to listen to a friend, share knowledge to help someone grow, or even offer a gentle smile to a stranger, we are practicing the art of giving. And it is in this act of opening our hearts to others that we discover an inexhaustible source of joy. Modern science supports this ancient wisdom, revealing that the act of giving activates brain regions associated with pleasure, social connection, and trust. This suggests that, biologically, we are programmed to find joy in helping others. Giving not only benefits the recipient, but also promotes a sense of satisfaction and well-being in the giver. It is a two-way street where everyone benefits. Moreover, giving has the power to create stronger and more resilient communities. When we practice generosity, we inspire others to do the same, creating a wave of kindness and mutual support. This shows that even the smallest acts of generosity can have a profound impact, not just on one person's life, but on an entire community. The joy of giving also teaches us about gratitude and humility. By giving of ourselves, we recognize the interconnectedness of our lives and the importance of taking care of each other. This helps us appreciate what we have and understand that often, the most valuable thing we have to offer is not something that can be bought. Therefore, giving is much more than an act of charity. It is an expression of love and human connection. It reminds us that, no matter how different we may be, we share a common need for support, understanding, and care. And by meeting that need in others, we nourish that same need in ourselves. So, the next time you feel discouraged or lost, remember the transformative power of giving. Do not underestimate the difference a simple act of kindness can make. Whether through grand gestures of generosity or small everyday actions, the joy of giving is a flame that lights the way to a more fulfilling and happy life. On the path to a happier life, we encounter various obstacles that may seem insurmountable. Overcoming these obstacles is essential to fully enjoy the joy in the little things. Everyone faces their own challenges, whether internal, like fears and insecurities, or external, like difficult life situations. However, overcoming these obstacles is not only possible, it is a crucial part of our journey to a more fulfilling and joyful existence. The first step to overcoming these obstacles is to recognize them. This may mean admitting to yourself that certain thoughts or behaviors are preventing you from experiencing joy. It could be perfectionism, which stops us from appreciating our own efforts and successes, or the tendency to compare our life with others, which often results in dissatisfaction. Recognizing these patterns is the beginning of change. Once recognized, it's time to challenge them. Questioning our own limiting beliefs and replacing them with more positive and realistic ones can open new paths to happiness. For example, instead of thinking, "I need to be perfect to be happy," we can remind ourselves that perfection is unattainable and it's okay to make mistakes. This type of mental reframing can be incredibly freeing. Another important aspect is learning to deal with adversities in a healthy way. This can involve developing emotional resilience, the ability to bounce back from difficult situations. Techniques such as mindfulness, breathing exercises, and even seeking support from friends, family, or professionals can be valuable tools on this journey. Additionally, practicing gratitude, even in the face of difficulties, can be a powerful antidote against despair. Focusing on the things we are grateful for, even if small, can help us maintain a positive perspective and find light even in the darkest moments. Lastly, it's important to remember that overcoming obstacles is a continuous process, not a final destination. There will be highs and lows, but each step forward is a victory. Celebrating these small victories, acknowledging the progress we make, can be an inexhaustible source of motivation and joy. Overcoming obstacles to joy is not easy, but it is incredibly rewarding. By facing these challenges, we not only advance in our pursuit of happiness, but also grow and become stronger. So, let's face these obstacles with courage, knowing that every effort brings us closer to a life full of joy and satisfaction. Throughout this journey, we explore various paths that lead us to discover joy in the little things, a hidden treasure in the simplicity of our daily lives. We learn that true happiness lies in mindfulness, gratitude for the blessings we often take for granted, the ability to slow down and appreciate every moment, shedding the weight of possessions and status, generosity of spirit, and overcoming the challenges that stand in our way. Each step on this journey is not just an isolated act, but an invitation to cultivate a lifestyle that values depth, connection, and simplicity. By embracing these principles, we not only enrich our own lives, but also touch the lives of those around us, creating waves of positivity and joy that extend far beyond our individual existence. I hope this message has been helpful to you. Don't forget to like and share this video. See you in the next video. Goodbye.